Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest, and today I'm going to check out from KEVYN AUCOIN the Stripped Nude Skin Tint. Retails for $42, comes in 10 different shades. You get 1 ounce, 30 mils of product. I've got the third lightest shade, ST03 Light. They are all light to medium shades. There's really nothing on the deep end. It's currently getting 3 out of 5 stars with 2 reviews on Sephora's website. 1 review from someone that wore it and enjoyed it. 1 review from someone who did not wear it and gave it a 1 star because of the shade range. This is described as a tinted sheer to light coverage foundation that illuminates, smooths, and helps minimize the look of pores for a flawless, natural-looking finish. Light coverage, natural finish, normal dry combo skin. The highlight ingredients, we've got hyaluronic acid, butterfly bush flower extract to protect against free radicals caused by blue light, Wujuyu fruit extract, adding luminosity and leaving the skin more radiant. It's got no sulfates, SLS, SLES, no parabens, no phthalates, no mineral oil. It is also vegan and cruelty-free. So that is the information we have to go on to start with. Let's take a look at the shade ST03, swatched against a few others in my collection. Alrighty, let's swatch. First up is today's foundation, the KEVYN AUCOIN Stripped Naked Skin Tint in shade 3. Second, I've got the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up is from Estee Lauder, the Futurist Hydra Rescue in shade 1 Neutral 2 Ecru. Fourth is the MAC Studio Sculpt in shade NW15. And last, I've got from KEVYN AUCOIN the Etherealist Foundation in shade 1 Light. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 45-year-old face. I'm going to use a dampened AOA Studios microfiber sponge on one side. The other side, I will use my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. The instructions say to use a brush, so that is what KEVYN AUCOIN would have preferred if he were still with us today. Packaging, we have a squeezy tube with a pump. I have primed with the Good Molecules silicone-free priming moisturizer. This has a really noticeable floral scent to it. There are fragrance ingredients toward the end of the ingredient list, but it does have added fragrance in it. And I can smell it. It smells like flowers. Very nice, sort of almost dewy complexion with this one blended out with the sponge. Really light coverage, but it is doing a bit to balance some redness. And it looks really pretty on the skin to start out. Let's try the brush side. This blends out equally nicely with the brush, so I'd say if you have a preference, brush or sponge, doesn't matter, use what you like. I don't want to go so far as to say this feels cooling, but it feels really refreshing on the skin. It almost is cooling. It's a nice, I don't know, that nice feeling you get like in the summer when you spray yourself with like a setting spray that feels really refreshing. Like it's got a really nice application feel to it. I don't know that I'm used to that. Like, I don't know that I have any other foundations that kind of do that. Pretty dewy look on the skin. This is more my summer shade, which is what I was going for when I picked it, because I usually go fair in the winter and like the lightest version of light in the summer. I haven't gotten any sun yet, but I anticipate maybe someday I will. I usually go about a half shade darker just from natural sunlight, even though I wear sunscreen every day, but this would be my winter shade. My summer shade, I believe. Very, very pretty on the skin. I've got a bit of product left from what I started with. I want to see if I can build it up. They claim you can get it from sheer all the way to light. Let's just see if I can kind of cancel out my blood vessel, some of my sunspots, some of the redness on my chin. This builds up just a little bit, but I don't think you're going to get very deep into a light coverage. It's just about light coverage at this point, I would say. Let's take a look at this one. It's really pretty on the skin. It doesn't do too much in terms of favors for concealing pores. It's not accentuating them, but it's not hiding them. It does look fairly nice, maybe slightly smoothing on texture, but again, it's still slightly visible just due to the nature of it being a dewy finish, which some people feel like that accentuates their texture, but it's really not clinging to dry patches or really anything. It's not settling into lines. It's not doing anything that I don't want it to do. It is looking pretty nice right out of the gate. So let's check the time. It is 4:54 p.m. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I'll be right back. Everything is going well with the KEVYN AUCOIN Skin Tint. I did not end up setting this with powder. I did use a few cream products, which was why I didn't want to immediately set it with powder, but it ended up that I didn't set it, and that is unusual for me. So far so good. It has dried down just to the point where just a little bit where you can kind of see some dry skin on my nose, but at a conversational distance, I don't think it's noticeable. Looks very nice. The finish is pretty. I was even able to blend bronzer without trouble, even though I didn't set it. So far so good. On the rest of my face, I've got the Natasha Denona Love Glow. Look at that prettiness. Oh, gosh. I have to make it happen again. Look at it go. Oh, my goodness gracious. I wasn't going to buy this, and then I did, because I have the other face palette, and I love it. And I was like, well, why do I need two? Well, I need two because these are different colors. And it's beautiful. Still does not beat the original Super Glow highlight, even though it's the same formula, different color, but I still prefer the original Super Glow, just the best on the planet. My eyes are the Natasha Denona Mini Retro palette. I did film a makeup and chill with this, so you will see that coming. What else exciting? Balm Desert for my bronzer, CoverGirl primer, and Exhibitionist Uncensored mascara. My lip, No Shock, Natasha Denona Lipophoria, the Balm Gloss combo in mauve. I did get my hands on the Nude shade, which is kind of like a light peachy nude. FYI, the shade names are really odd. They don't seem to match what I expect color-wise, but I love the formula, and this one is my favorite mauve. I might need to buy a backup of this because I love it. And is that everything? I think that's it. I'll be back in a bit with a daylight check-in, and then I will come back tonight and give you guys my final thoughts. Oh, this will probably be very grainy because it is just about sunset. It's about 8 o'clock at night, but I figured we'd come out and show you guys the color match. Definitely more of my summer shade. You can see how pale my arms are, but not a bad shade all around. Here's how it's holding up. It is just before 8 o'clock right now. It has lost a little bit of the luminance that it had early on, but I think it still looks nice. So it's been, what has it been, about 3 hours now? It still looks nice. Try and get a little close up. So that is where we're at 3 hours in. I'll be back at the end of the night to wrap this one up. 12:50 a.m. That puts us right around just a few minutes shy of the 8-hour mark. Let's take a look at how the KEVYN AUCOIN stripped nude skin tint held up. I was having flashbacks to filming the swatches, and I feel like I was saying stripped naked. Did I say stripped naked? I don't know if I said stripped naked. We'll find out when I edit this, won't we? But very lightweight, very comfortable to wear. I feel like it's definitely a hydrating formula. My skin feels really good at this point. Unfortunately, at the 8-hour mark, it's breaking down a little bit more than I would like, so it's not really super long wear as far as wear time goes. But let's take a look, zoom in, and see what we've got going on. There's not much to complain about. It's settled a little bit into my deepest chin lines, and it's broken up just a little bit around the movement lines of my mouth. So the sort of wrinkles that are forming at the corners of my mouth and along the lines on my upper lip. But for the most part, everything else, blush, bronzer, highlight is still intact. My nose actually didn't wear away as bad as it usually does. I'm not having any issues with product caking up between my eyebrows on the texture there. My forehead still looks good. Everything's still pretty well in place for the most part. On the sort of static areas of my face, the coverage is just vanishing, which is a nice, graceful way to degrade. Around movement lines, it is gathering up just a little bit. So those dynamic lines like your mouth and, you know, the movement lines on your face. So pretty graceful on the degradation, not the best wear time. I think if you have dry skin, it is totally fine. My skin feels great. If you have mature skin, if you have deeper wrinkles, you might have a little bit of settling going on, but I'm not having any issues with it settling into my forehead lines or my smile lines, my less deep lines. So overall, if I had to give a grade to the KEVYN AUCOIN Stripped Nude Skin Tint for dry and maturing skin, I'm gonna go B+. If this wore for a bit longer than 8 hours, I would be quite a bit more happy with it. An 8-hour wear doesn't even get me to the end of my workday, so a product that breaks down sooner is something I won't reach for on a daily basis because I need it to be no fuss, no muss, give me some wear. You know, I need 10 hours out of it, at least 10 hours out of it. So if I had a little bit better wear time, it would be a little bit higher. But we're going to go a very, very high B+. We're going to go like an 89 B+. I definitely like it. It's definitely wearable. I wish there were more shades. Wish it wore a bit longer. That's where I'm going to stand on this one. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you enjoy foundation reviews, if you would like to see more, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see next in terms of foundations. I have them all listed. All my foundation reviews are on geekoutofwater.com. Click the Foundation Fest link. There's a ranked, sortable, searchable spreadsheet of all of my nearly 200 reviews up there. And I also added a new printable sheet, a PDF file of the top 100 foundations as they are ranked. Of course, this would fall into the top 100 and knock whatever the current bottom one is off, but I will update that very soon. And the other sheets I've got on there that you can print, I've got like, you know, top 10 drugstore, top 10 high-end, top 10 cruelty-free, top 10 hydrating foundation, top 10 overall. I got a bunch of stuff on there, so go check out geekoutofwater.com. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Come back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time for new videos. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.